I'm so excited to be here again on Lance and Cribs, your real estate channel, where we don't just tell you things, but we also show you. And today I'm going to talk about what happens when there is poor concrete mix. It's not about me, but it's all about what you're going to learn today. And that is why, as I promised you last week, our builder, our professional builder Obiemena of Restaurant Projects Limited is going to enlighten us more on the dangers of poor concrete mix, what it can cause. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere, and keep on watching Lance and Cribs.
Hello everyone, I am Builder Obie, and in this video I'll be briefly talking about the effects of poor concrete mix in building construction. Concrete, you know, is the most widely used building materials in construction. Therefore, it is important to check the quality of the concrete that is being used during building construction. Concrete is a mixture of sand, cement, in addition with water to produce a homogeneous mix being used in construction. You know, concrete is good in compression, but it's poor, and it's poor in tension. That's why we reinforce concrete so that to provide tensional strength to concrete. Now, we cannot talk about the quality of concrete without finding out the signs of bad concrete mix during construction work. Now, these signs of bad concrete mix in construction is viewed in two stages. That is during the construction work on site, when the cement is being worked, when the concrete, is being worked on, during the pouring, during the placement of concrete, and after the concrete method of adding. Now, looking at the first stage of the signs of poor concrete mix during construction, we have the first sign. The first sign I will talk about during the pouring of concrete is when we begin to notice what we call segregation in concrete. You know, segregation it happens when cement paste begin to separate from aggregate that is being used alongside used in the concrete mix. Now, this segregation is actually caused by over vibration of concrete. It also caused by over compaction of concrete. Segregation is one of the major signs of bad concrete work during construction. And any concrete that has segregation means that that concrete is not workable. The concrete has no workability, and this can reduce the strength and durability of the concrete or of the building structure. And again, another visible signs we see during concrete work on site is what we call bleeding of concrete. Bleeding occurs when water, free water, begin to push upward from the concrete mix after the placement of concrete. Bleeding happens when the water-cement ratio is greater than normal. You know, water-cement ratio is the weight of water compared to the weight of cement. So when this water-cement ratio tends to be much more than required in the mixing of concrete, it tends to cause bleeding in concrete. You know, the appropriate or standard required water-cement ratio during construction is 0.4 to 0.6. This water-cement ratio will provide the normal strength that is required for concrete work. So when we notice segregation, we notice bleeding in concrete, is a sign that we have bad concrete or low quality concrete work during construction. And as a result of this, It therefore means that the concrete that was mixed does not have workability. There's no workability in a concrete. So to ensure we don't have segregation and bleeding of concrete, we have to ensure we carry out our slump test. Slump test is used to ascertain the quality of concrete, used to check the consistency of our concrete mix, and also to ensure that the water cement ratio is at the adequate proportion. In construction work is after the hardening of concrete. After the hardening of concrete, one of the signs you begin to see is what we call crack in structural members. Now, what is crack? Crack is a line of linear fracture along structural members. What actually causes crack is as a result of the tensional stress that is developed within the concrete. Now, when this tensional stress now begin to increase above the capacity, the tensile capacity of the concrete and the reinforcement, it leads to what we call crack in structural members. Now, crack can be minor crack can be medium, and crack can be severe. Now, when crack becomes severe, it becomes unsafe for the structural members, and this can result in low strength, it can result in deterioration of structural members, and can even result to collapse of structural members. And when we have several of these structural members developing this severe crack, it can lead to collapse, whether partial collapse or total collapse of the building. And again, another visible signs after the hardening of concrete we observe is what we call honeycombing. Honeycombing is seen after the removal of formwork. When concrete has been poured and concrete has hardened, formwork is removed. Now, this honeycombing is noticed whereby you begin to see pores or holes around concrete work. Now, this holes is a result of mortar failure to fill the spaces in between aggregates. Now, this can reduce the strength and durability of concrete work. There are other visible effects we see after the hardening of concrete. Another one I will just briefly talk about again is called spalling of concrete. Spalling of concrete happens when solid mass of concrete begin to peel off structural members. This spalling is you see this spalling effect when we begin to notice that after some time you begin to see that the reinforcement are now becoming visible in structural members, in beams, or whether in beams or columns. You see that the reinforcement begin to become visible, or even in floor slab. So when this concrete mass or particle begin to peel off or are being removed or separated from structural members, it is called spalling of concrete. So all these are bad or are signs of bad concrete or low quality concrete mix used in building construction. And again, since we have talked about the signs of bad concrete mix in concrete, I will also just briefly talk about how do we ensure we produce quality concrete mix on site. We have to ensure we carry out various tests to control quality of concrete mix being used on site. Number one, like I said initially, we carry out our slump test. So slump test should be carried out on arrival to site and before leaving the batching plant. Slump test, like I've said, is used to measure ascertain the workability of concrete. Workability of concrete means that concrete is being handled, is being transported and placed without segregation in concrete. And also slump test is also used to ensure we use the appropriate water cement ratio in concrete work. Another test we can do is what we call the compressive strength test of concrete. Can also conduct a permeability test. Can also perform our water absorption test, and we can also perform active chloride ion test in concrete. And also, to ensure we have quality, it is also imperative that concrete work are being supervised by qualified engineers on site. Thank you for listening.
Welcome back. I know you've learned a lot concerning reinforcement. This past week we've just been talking about concrete, reinforcement, and now you know the dangers of poor concrete mix. So watch out for next week's edition, because we're going to be bringing you things that will make you shout, wow! A lot of things about construction that you don't know about. On Lance and Cribs, we'll reveal them to you. I still remain your real estate explorer, and I will encourage you to click on the subscribe button and the notification bell, so that when we upload new videos, you will be number one to get informed. It's goodbye from us at Lance and Cribs, where we don't just tell you things, but we also show you. Bye.